Hello, and welcome everyone to the first week of Season 2 of the CL Jolyu League. We have our first match in the upper bracket, the Ocean bracket, today between Team Bruv and Vengeance. This match was played on Thursday. It will be vodcasted. And with me, I have Trollzoe today.
What up?
Well, it looks like MrOuldy's also snuck in here while I wasn't looking.
Yeah, I snuck in.
Welcome, welcome. So,
Awesome.
so, let me just check real quick. MrOuldy, do you have the games?
Have the games. The first one ends in 656, yeah?
Uh, well, the first one, we have a Camille top. There you go. If there's a Camille top, you're on the right game. Um,
Loading.
yeah, so
That's not the first game. Fuck.
it's fine, we got some time. Welcome everyone to week one. These are two new teams in the league, mostly new players we haven't seen before. The only returning players we have between these two teams are on Vengence. Um, it's Miximus returning with Accept yet again in the same teams. They're being joined by Lo-Fi at 4 a.m. in the bot lane, Innie in the mid, and Shady Lol, who, if any of you have seen Connecting Esports, you'll know who he is. So that is one of our teams, that is Vengence Esports. On the other team, we have Team Bruv, full new roster, none of which we've seen before. We've got Vink in the top lane, Dark Enclave in the jungle, Skycold in that mid lane, Punky Boy as the AD carry, and a strong Ewok for our support. What do you guys think of these two teams?
I'm definitely excited to see what both of these teams have to bring to the league. They're both looking very, very strong, and I'm excited to see what they go for here.
Yep. So these games today, they are being vodcast, so we do not have our nice client or our champ select. We don't know what was banned for the teams in the future. If you do end up with a vodcast, it's nice for us if you can let us know what the bans were for the game, or if you do have the pick and ban order, that is like perfect because we can recreate it, or we can just talk through what happened and give a little bit of a shout. I'll move over to the game screen now so that we can at least see. Shady knows the bans. Shady, what was banned? If you can let us know what was banned in game one to start with, that would be perfect because we can have a little chat about what we think was banned, or well, what we think was good in the bans or bad in the bans. For everyone else, I do see some interesting things. Well, I'll move over to the game screen so we can see what was picked, and everyone can start having a think about all of that. Thank God I do have everything set up correctly, it seems. Good to know. I will probably have to change the casters when I get a bit of time, but that is okay. So you can see that the three big ones we were talking about on Thursday have all made it through the ban phase in this. Is this the second game? Should be the first game.
Maybe MrOuldy was right all along.
Maybe it was right all along. Maybe I
This is
opened
the
the wrong
second
game.
game. Ha!
This is
Right.
game two. Okay, what we will do is we will quickly go back. Um, ooh, nothing. No one noticed anything. We can quickly open the other game. Did I? Oh yes. That game's number is actually a lot lower. I just didn't notice because there was like it was 500,000 lower in number. I didn't look that far. Great. Thank you for the follow, Reactify. I'll load up this game. I'll set it all up so no one gets to accidentally see who wins, and then we'll get
I
this
thought
going.
this was the first game because I was looking at it and you put in this game first to download and then the second game. So
Damn, I
thought you
just
would have done it
opened the
by
wrong
the
one because
order.
I'm dumb. Nice. Always good to know. Thankfully, I've actually got an easy screen set up to go between the two games this time, so it should be, I should be able to just do this, and we'll have all of the team names on the correct sides. MrOuldy casting or not, he is casting with us. I'll try
Yeah.
and take a little bit of a backseat, which should let me rest my voice because I have been speaking a lot recently, despite being in lockdown. Kind of annoying. But yeah, okay, so here is game one. And we can see the picks for various teams. We actually have Shady playing the mid lane for game one and Innie in the top lane. So we can see that the first game bans, Team Bruv did ban out LeBlanc, Samira, and Kane, whereas Vengeance banned out Ornn, Kayle, and Seraphine. So did not want to see the massive threat of Kayle, did not want to see that Ornn being pulled out. Um, They swap lanes or what? Well, you are allowed to swap lanes. There's nothing saying you can't swap lanes. We do just have a few rules in there, like if the other team asks you about which lane you're planning to play, do tell them the lane you're planning to play, even if you do end up swapping because you think there's a better matchup or something. Um, JD is D2 also a jungler first. Um,
I think he's a jungle ADC main, so he can play
yes,
both mid,
exactly.
support, and top.
Exactly. Um, exactly. There we go. So talking through this, is there anything you guys think was obviously left out of the ban phase or pick phase that you're surprised about?
I'm surprised there's no Amumu picks in this one, even though it was open. The highest sort of win rate is sort of Amumu and Kayle at the moment. It's either pick or ban. But this game they've both done a gentleman's agreement and went no Amumu.
No Amumu, also no Malphite. I do know that Malphite is the highest win rate mid laner right now, apparently. Don't know
Kayle
how
is the
that
highest
happened.
win rate.
Ah, has Kayle overtaken Malphite in mid as
Kayle has
well? Nice.
overtaken Malphite mid and top. She is top, number one in both mid and top.
I have not checked the win rates in like a week or so, so everything I say is out of date. Take it with a grain of salt.
A
Yes,
lot of things are overpowered, but at the moment, Malphite is gaining on Kayle because Malphite is one champion that can basically win against Kayle very easily.
yep. Okay, so let's just do a quick run through of the two teams, and then we can kick it off. Does everyone have the correct game open as well?
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Okay, who wants to run down the teams? I'll do it. It's fine. Okay, so on the blue side of this, we have Team Bruv. Vink has that Poppy in the top lane. The Skarner is the jungle. Skycold has got his Azir in mid. Punky Boy on the MF in AD carry, backed up by that Leona in support. Big combo there. If we look for any runes to look out for on this side, Skycold has taken the barrier on the Azir to make sure that he can't be bursted quite as easily. We also have the Hail of Blades on the Azir for a bit of that early trade power, a bit more of the burst. We are in a very bursty meta. Not too surprising there. Strong Ewok has chosen to take the Exhaust. Definitely good into a team with a few assassins. Poppy top, good pick generally into Shen. If you, well, you can block Shen's taunt basically. On the other side, we do have Shen top. We have Elise in the jungle, which is not something I've seen in quite a long time. We have Echo in that mid lane. And we have Accept on the Jinx in the bot lane, with Lo-Fi at 4 a.m. piloting Nautilus support. So for notable runes, we do have Electrocute on both the jungler and the mid laner, so quite a lot of burst coming through there, but we do have the teleport on Echo, so we'll have to see whether that teleport is used quite well or not well. Jinx has elected to take the lethal tempo to try and get a bit more of that team fight power.
Not unheard of.
Not unheard of at all. Both exhausts are carrying the support. Okay, guys, are you ready to kick off this game?
yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, play. I was not on the thing. Let's try that again. I was tabbed out. Of course that doesn't work. Genius me. Give me a heads up when you're back at the start, and we'll try that again.
Yeah,
And that was-
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Wouldn't be Coral if we didn't scuff it. Okay. 3, 2, 1, play.
Don't think there was a we in scuffing there.
Wow.
I mean, we gotta live up to that NA production value.
True.
I've managed to cut out pretty much all the NA production value this time. There should be no need to ever change any of the text on screen while we're going.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yep.
It's not a Corel casting without at least one scuff.
Yep, I have not put Aldi on the casters. I'll update that at some point when I get the chance. But it looks like we have a potential invade coming out here from Vengence Esports on the bottom side of the map, but they were spotted out by that ward. Good ward placement there from Punky. In terms of what else we see, both supports are just going for those farming support items. We have the Corrupted Pot on Echo in the mid lane, Corrupted Pot also on Poppy in the top lane, both of them looking to do quite heavy trades, try and get ahead in their lanes. So we'll see how that goes for them. Anything you guys would be expecting to see in terms of the junglers' proximity? Anything you think they should be moving towards, focusing on? Anything you really want to see out of this early game?
So I feel that Skarner's probably going to be focusing more on the mid side or in the mid lane to help out that Azir against Echo. Echo's going to have a huge burst, and Azir should be able to push him out early before like level 2 or something with the range and the poke like he's already doing. So I think Skarner's definitely going to focus on that. So then he can get in some counter jungles to go against the Elise in the jungle. Top lane is very much 2 tanks attacking each other, so there's not really much going to change between top lane and bot lane is fairly safe with MF's early damage and Leona's constant CC. So I don't think the bot lane is going to be in much trouble on the side of Bruv. Is it Bruv or is it
Team Bruv, yes. Team
Team
Bruv and
Vengeance.
Vengence Esports.
I feel Team Venture is going to do the exact same, except for Mix probably might be looking down towards the bot side.
Oh, nice trades in
oh
the top
boy, a
lane.
lot of damage in the top lane here.
Think was taken to about 100 HP there, but does have all of the uses still of the Corrupting Pot to heal him back up. Meanwhile, Innie on that Shen is just relying on that Doran shield.
So one thing I was kind of surprised about against the Shen is Shen started on his E, his taunt first level, instead of going for the Q for the wave and the extra damage against Poppy in those traits.
Yep. As you can actually see that Vink's making really good use of the Poppy passive here. Make sure he has the grass stack up and ready. Oh, Shady taken very low. That's first blood over to the side of Team Bruv there. Nice play from Skycold there, knowing that he got Shady just low enough. They did also trade flashes, so that is an Azir without flash.
That is also a teleport used on the Echo, so that means that he hasn't got that presence to the early game.
He's going straight
And
back
it's going
in
right
though.
back onto this here, taking his tower.
Only level 3, that's half health already gone.
And
there's a shot.
Skarner's down bot lane, picking out the Nautilus. There's a flash coming on from the Leona. Don't think it was necessary. Level 3 could have just waited for the E to come up, but nice rotation from the bot side and the jungle. Poppy trying to push Elise off that scuttle top side as well.
Yes, so we can see Team Bruv really coming to play here, picking up 2 early kills. Obviously, extremely good for them. Nice block there from Vink.
There we see exactly how strong the Poppy lane is into the Shen, where she can block basically any time the Shen tries to go in with the C.
Mm-hmm. And the poke with the ranged shield just makes it even more better for Poppy just to sustain the lane with that shield.
And if Fink can freeze this, it's a very precarious position as an engaging bot.
Echo going bot lane, MF's forced to flash. You have Skarner flashing
That's
onto
very
the
low
Echo.
Shady. And Shady is dead yet again. Innie forced to flash as well in that
coming
top
from
lane.
the Shen top lane as well.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a disaster here for the side of Vengeance. Your Echo mid has did die in lane, roamed, died in the roam, is really far behind Azir now, can't really contest him without help. Something I am surprised to see is we haven't really seen an Elise gank yet, despite picking the Elise. It looks like Azir is going for this invade. Does spot Miximus out.
There's the engage on the top lane, and the Shen does manage to get that taunt off to kill the Poppy.
Thank you, directed camera. It does not want to show us any kills today. So far, directed camera having missed half of the kills that have gone on.
So Poppy's is forced to use the teleport there to catch the wave before it gets sort of destroyed under the turret, so she doesn't lose that experience from Shen. However, Shen is now level 6 and has teleport up still, so is in a situation where they can roam for a objective, which is where Elisa started on the dragon and the bot side. The blue Team Bruv know that they're doing it. They did ping it, but they're not going to contest because they don't have the global presence.
And just good use of tempo there from the side of Vengeance, knowing that both mid and bot lane were taking their backs. On the side of Team Brovs, they just use it to pick up that free Cloud Drake. Not a big win, a very nice small win. It's something.
It's something.
Almost a 2 gold lead right now, 1.9 thousand gold. So you will take pretty much whatever you can get.
Nearly 2k gold deficit on the side of Vengeance, so it's a good start. Leona getting in that EQ combo, now using the shield.
Not where you want to
looking
be if
to
you're
get
Leona,
away.
though.
Getting rooted, Skarner's coming over, there's that blast cone, but they do get the kill.
Kill picked up onto the Elise, and that is a good person to have your kill on if she can translate that into some sort of win here. That would be really useful. Whereas the sub button, I am not what is it? Affiliate?
Affiliated.
Not affiliate because I did not actually bother putting in enough streams to get it. It should. I think I do get it maybe after this game. If not, I'll do like a 2-minute stream at midnight or something and get it. Pretty
That's
sure
a
I'm like a
very
giveaway.
nice ultimate buy as they're pushing him into the turret. Nautilus coming up for a roam, but getting stopped by Skarner. Elise is not spotted just yet, and now is spotted at her blue buff with that deep pink ward.
See,
Very
there's some
nicely well
very
played
nice
by
vision
Esports.
here from the side of Vengeance all around this river. But that blue ward there has snuck in behind them in their jungle. It would catch out anyone using the blast plant. Will that make a difference? Probably not.
So very interesting ward placements by Team Vengeance. They've got a lot of wards on that river where they have a lot of vision anyway. So they do have the scuttle, but they do have 2 wards at the entrance by the blue buff. They also have a ward by the pixel brush and 2 control wards in the river. Kind of an excessive amount of wards, I'd say, when they have no vision over Herald or any vision anywhere else on the map.
Jungler's items are quite interesting right now. I don't know if anyone wants to take a look, has any idea what's going on there. I've not looked too much into pre-season yet, so I don't know whether it's a common thing to get rid of your jungle item early on.
No, jungle item now is the same thing. There's an engage on the bot lane, and it does actually go onto a kill onto the Jinx with the ultimate taking that. Heal was used from MF, does not have flash, so would not be able to save. Anyway, in pre-season now, jungle items, you get a starting jungle item with 5 stacks, and when you smite 5 times, that jungle item is then embedded into the character, and you get that type of smite of chilling or challenger.
Oh, I see.
So it frees up a spot. There's a taunt coming up on the top lane against that Poppy. Does not have that Q up for that W to come over, but does take a lot of damage from Shen. Shen taking a lot of minion damage, making it into an equal trade after that ranged shield attack.
Something I do wonder then is, could you just take a smite on Elena for that early jungle item, smite 5 times, and does the anti-jungle laning debuff
No,
still apply?
the debuff will still apply because it's on that jungle item.
Ah, but the jungle item would disappear from your inventory.
Everything in that jungle item stat-wise goes into the character once you get that. A very nice steal from Mix. They're going to have to use a lot of their CC to stop that. As Skarner got a stun.
A
There is
nice
stun there,
deny
and
from
they
the
stop
Rift Herald
that.
there.
Shady might be looking for it with that E.
He did get it, and the
Does
free
get it,
disengage.
but may get picked out from here. There's a flash coming in from Azir. There's the ultimate by the Skarner. Kill goes on to the Azir.
And 2 kills for a Rift Herald. Probably not worth it. If you do get a Rift Herald down before plates go down, you will get more gold than the kill gave over, especially seeing as the Echo was 0 and 4 at that point, but still not great. Innie maybe a little caught out here.
Skarner going round into the lane, a little bit delayed.
Teleport.
There's a teleport by Echo. Shen is engaged at the
And
Poppy
Steadfast
AoE.
Presence. It's actually an amazingly good pick into this enemy team. You can stop Shen taunt, you can stop the Echo Dash, and you can also stop Nautilus Hook.
Nautilus. Yeah. They're
Tower
engaging
dive.
onto the tower dive. There's a stun down onto the Echo. Echo's forced to flash. Skarner
Chrono
is
Break
nearby.
was used. Is it Chrono Break or Chrono Shift?
I think. Let me have a look. It is Chrono Break.
Chrono Break, yeah. Chrono Shift, I think, is Zillions. It's, yeah, Vengeance are feeling a little bit, desperate here. They're trying to, really trying to get something.
I think Echo's trying to clear the wave to put down the Herald to try and push that first tower. But the only way they can
Just
actually
get
make
some
that work in
plates.
gold is by getting that first tower extra gold. Otherwise, it's just not as worth it.
And they're gonna
looking for a dive on
is
the
the repeat of the dive.
Even with no ults, there's a taunt on the Shen. Echo is tanking tower right now.
Oh, but
Here
he's so
comes
low.
Poppy. Poppy does not have flash,
Direct.
and Echo can get away.
Meanwhile,
they're doing the dragon and the bot side.
They do get the dragon, but
Emma does
kill.
get a kill, and Azir's coming in to go onto this Nautilus. Could be looking onto this Jinx. Nautilus stopping Leona from being able to jump onto the Jinx.
It feels like Team Bravo just sort of out rotating here, and in these mini skirmishes are just outplaying, making sure that they get those first picks to make them uneven fights. And maybe going for the objectives is not quite what you want to be doing right now if you are on Vengeance. This is where a lot of the gold is actually leaking out from your team.
Engage onto the
Level 8 Echo.
The ultimate coming from the Azir. Very nice QE combo to get that shield and to kill that Echo. Jinx ult going into the mid lane and will not connect.
Oh, it's the 3v1 but 3v2 now.
Dive.
Except is doing what he can.
Garner ultimate. Leona does tank tower and gets killed for it. MF did have heal, which could have saved Leona for that last turret shot. Engage top lane. You are looking at Mix coming up to that top lane as well.
Okay. Nice steadfast presence at the last second there, just to pull that in. Will we be able to get away? Probably, because our camera doesn't want to look at that. Wants to look at bot lane.
Does get away just as he gets grounded before he can taunt the Poppy.
So, in terms of gold lead, this is now a 4,500 gold lead for the side of Team Bruv. Very substantial. If you look at where that gold is actually held, 3,000 of it is in the Azir in the mid lane. A little bit we got back there, and there's almost 1,000, about 800 in that ADC role. 500 as well for the supports.
Can see the Poppy going in on that Shen. Mix is still top side. Echo looks like he's roaming up towards it as well. Chilling Smite comes out. There's the ultimate. Misses the Elise. Elise does miss
doing
that.
what he can.
There. Gets that shield. Doesn't have flash up, but Azir is on its way. Does not get the kill because how tanky it is.
Oh, Cocoon misses.
And there's the Jinx ult.
And the Jinx ult.
And connect.
That super mega death rocket? Something along those lines.
Leona's coming
One
up.
kill
There's a
picked
kill
up for
on
the
the
Azir.
Azir. You've
Shady's
got
gonna try and use
Leona
that
there
dash to
and
get out.
Leona. There's the ultimate coming in. Leona's ultimate is going there
Crit was
too.
used. That's
Ultimate by Azir killing his Elise. And it seems they're just leaving Echo to Skarner. Leaving a 1v1 in the bot lane for MF and Jinx.
this is
And now
very
it's going
diveable.
down.
Ultimate
They are
thrown
going
down.
to dive it.
That's the depth charge. The root
Does
is
have
missed.
heal and
Monkey
flash
doing
here.
what he can.
Nautilus
Oh
is
no.
tanking the turret and gets killed by MF. There's a teleport by Poppy, looking to kill on this Jinx. Heal is still up by MF, and so is ultimate. More than half health.
Our
It
first
looks
turret
like
does go
they're
in
gonna get
that
it.
top lane.
Shen ultimate's
Stand
coming down.
United is used. They're going to try and keep Accept alive through this.
There's the ultimate from MF. The taunt does not connect. They are focusing on the Shen now. There's a flash by the Shen. Jinx seems a little bit vulnerable here.
He's just too much damage.
And Shen gets
Too
away.
tanky comparatively. It's unfortunate. Is this ocean or river? This is ocean. Well, I have to see the game is definitely not unwinnable. It's extremely hard. We are over a 6,000 gold difference right now, and Team Bruv is now just pushing down these last few outer towers.
I think that
Director Camera
that
would
is
like for
not
us
the
to see
first
Punky walking to lane. Apparently,
instead
that's the
of
most
Sal.
interesting thing going on right now. So, this game, it's not over, but it's quite hard to throw at this point. So I think this might be a decent time to ask you guys, what do you want to see from Game 2? Is there a difference you want to see in the bans? Is there anything you think you would have liked to see banned going into Game 2?
There's the ultimate coming out onto the Elise, sorry about that, and there's stun coming on, giving the kill over to Azir and a blue buff. 8-0 Azir right now with a nearly 9k that he has earned throughout this game. Nearly 4,000 more than the Echo mid lane. In the second game,
Ooh, Accept might try and steal this Drake.
In the second game, there's the Azir ult coming out onto the Nautilus, looking for. There's a flash out. There's a stun top lane on the Echo under turret by Leona. The mid lane is currently being 1v1 by a support, and they get the dragon.
Yeah, it looks like Accept did not want to go for the Miracle Steal there with the W.
Poppy is doing Rift on his own, and here comes the Shen. Misses the ultimate. Will have to
And it was
just
stolen.
gets it. There's a taunt, and it looks like and Shen will give up his life for it. There's a flash stun onto the Elise. Don't think he needed a flash on that one, personally.
So in terms of
Every time you want to talk, there's something going on.
so in terms of going into next game, is there any differences you guys would like to see in draft, or yeah, any differences you want to see in draft? Anything you don't think should be allowed to get through? Anything you think you would like to see picked again, or yeah, what do you want to see?
I think personally I'll have to see until when they get to their team fights to see how they fare against their sort of engage of Poppy, Skarner, and Leona, because currently they just didn't play that early game as well. Echo looked for a lot of pressure in the mid lane at level 1 and 2, which then ended up costing the first blood. And they just didn't play around the mid lane, which was the most aggressive or neutral lane where they could actually get stuff happening. Bot lane was very much under their tower with Leona and.
Oh, we're engaged in the bot lane. We have Shady on the Echo against Punky on the MF, and Punky actually comes out on top there with that extra life
Watch
steal.
out for that. Elise is coming down behind the MF right now. There's no teleports up on the side of Team Bruv. There's the ultimate coming out.
Nice cocoon.
And it gets taken by the Elise. Not the worst. The teleport going into the mid lane protect that. Skarner is going down, roaming down.
And There's the disengage teleport to get him out. Meanwhile, Elise is skittering her way through this jungle. We'll be able to meet up with the rest of the team in the mid lane. And they will just knock down this mid lane tower. As said before, this team has not out
There's
yet. They
ultimate by Leona. The Nautilus is going to get rooted and stunned again, maybe getting picked up.
That's
Looking
one.
to get that Skarner,
That's
and
two.
Skarner gets the ultimate on Elise, give the double kill over to the Azir. Meanwhile, top lane, Shen is engaging on this Poppy. Don't think it's the worthwhile to get engaged on. Echo is coming up.
Ooh, steadfast presence was not
And
in
the
time there.
ultimate
Nice flash.
Flash is coming over. Will Poppy survive for her team to get up? There's the shield. She can do that stun.
And look how tanky she is. Shady almost dies. Stand United has to be used just to keep him from dying to the burn.
Focusing onto that Shen. Echo is too low. Azir coming over
And
to
here's
clean up that
Azir.
Shen. And MF just coming over to clean up this Echo. There's a stun and last auto. Very nice rotation from the team.
It
of
looks
Bruv.
so
And
good.
they
It
look
looked
like
like they'd caught out the Poppy until they just hadn't.
they
It
just
took them
didn't
way
have the
too long to finish it.
They need to sort of work as a team in this point. Probably their damage is now going to be coming from this Jinx, the Kraken Slayer. The Echo currently is 0 and 7 of 126 CS. Hasn't got that much damage under his belt. Can do damage to maybe a squishy backline and get out, but that's about it. They just need to play more as a team, where they can work together in getting rid of their front line and their back line.
Yep, so we've got Baron just being picked up there by the side of Team Bruv. Maximus
Elise getting picked. There's the EQ combo on there. The Elise dodges the
solar
ultimate.
flare.
And it seems that Poppy might be taking the kill from this.
And
the Elite gets away with that.
Does manage to get out, except will pick up this red buff. They do know he is here. Looks like Team Bruv want to try and force this fight.
I think it's a good point to force. They realise that the Shen has just used his ultimate last time. There's the Jinx there.
And not quite in time to interrupt.
He could have just pressed ult on her instead of using that E, and it would have stopped that backing animation. They're forced to use Herald because probably ran out of time, and they're not getting much out of that.
It's quite an interesting thing. I don't know how the Skarner ult would interact, because obviously that damage there did actually go onto Jinx as she was in her back animation. It's just she'd hit the point that the back animation goes through no matter what.
But there was a shield, so she didn't actually take damage to her health, which didn't stop the back animation. A lot of CC going onto that Poppy. She doesn't survive. She does get picked out. However, Echo is top lane currently, and they could be looking for a pick.
Oh, but they found Jinx.
There is a flash.
Flash is forced out, and she's just caught by herself.
No flash, nothing to do, and the MF ultimate is coming through. They have
Solar Flare gets two.
The ultimate going in onto this.
Depth charge is dropped. It's just put a little bit of CC down, but there's no damage.
On the Zir and MF, but they just have no damage. At least not going into.
Looks like Elise might try and steal this, but just waits too long.
With the Jinx there, the reason why she didn't get cancelled with that E is because she had a shield, and the E damage didn't go to her health. However, if you ulted on Skarner, it immobilizes them and does move them, so they will not go back.
But there's actually a very brief window of time where you can damage someone in the back and it doesn't matter, and the back will go off anyway. Which is why I was asking, I wonder if the Skarner ult would override that and pull them back. Or
yeah, any sort of
I think
such as immobilizing, suppressing, or anything that will stop the back.
Yeah, I wonder if you timed it, if you'd get an interesting interaction with the back going off and then just getting yoinked straight out of your base back to where Skarner was.
Bounce into where Skarner is, that would be quite funny. It seems like the Echo at the moment is currently just pushing top lane against the Poppy, both of them having to...
doing his best Tryndamere cosplay. Just...
while Jinx is pushing that mid lane, and Leon is pushing that mid lane with the... Oh, not Jinx, MF is pushing that mid lane, and Azir Skarner down in the bot lane, pushing into the inhib turret.
So they're trying to use the Baron here quite effective. Well, they're trying to use the Baron effectively, push down as much damage as they can onto these outer towers and then take the inner towers. They have managed to pick up a couple of towers, but not too much else. The mountain dragons, which are stacking up right now, will eventually make Poppy and Skarner just unkillable. So we'll have to keep an eye on those, see how that works out. An interesting point here, Leona has gone Locket as the mythical item, great item, whereas Lo-Fi on the Nautilus has chosen to go with another item, which is, what is that? Turbo Chem Tank.
Same thing as what the Skarner does. Basically, it's Righteous Glory, but glorified.
Yes.
That is basically what Turbo Chem Tank is. Mix Righteous Glory with Singe Ultimate, and then that is the item that you have got.
Sky Colt has found Innie in this top lane. The Shen should be able to walk out of this, use his taunt if
Skarner
needed.
is coming up to the top side as well as Leona. Skarner could be looking for a...
Here's the fast Scorpion.
Turbo
Flash
Chem
used.
Tank.
He
There's
taunts
that,
back onto Skarner rather than away. I'm not sure.
Was that killing smite, and he taunted Skarner, probably looking for a dive on the tower. Used his QW so he wouldn't take any autos, but the taunt came off too early for him to ult him towards the team. Mid lane is being opened right now. Mix seems like he has to flash away to get away from that Azir. And Jinx and Nautilus just slowly
We'll
pushing
pick up that mid lane tower.
But it's going to get picked out
Oh,
from
that damage.
Overextending in that mid lane. Leona could look for something against that. Does go for that EQ combo. Azir is now going in there, so the flare
That's a lot of damage.
already died.
Shitty just trying to clear out this wave. They're holding on as hard as they can to their towers.
Looking for
Lo-Fi
more.
has been running this entire time to try and get away. They're taking this 3v4.
There's the ultimate by
They
Azir.
have almost got Azir, just over 200 health,
Just gets
but
away
now they're
on
caught in the mixer.
EQ. And Nautilus going round to get onto that Azir, but does get picked up by the Poppy.
And that
Looking
is
for a
an
mid-lane
ace,
or a
and
Baron.
that will be an inhib gone. Yeah, I would not be surprised for them to take this and move it into inhib or just try and end the game here, because you know at least 3 people are going to be down by the time you get onto those Nexus towers, and you can definitely dive the Jinx Elise. And here we go. Dark Enclave, wanting to do that already, has grabbed the Jinx, pulls Expect back into the team, nice layering of the CC into the kill, and now it's just the Elise left to try and defend on her own. Looks like Team Bruv are going to play it slow though, are just going to take the double inhib and then probably back off to the Baron or Dragon.
Not much happening now. They could look for a dragon here to get into a soul point. I think they are pinging over towards it. They know where that team is. Jinx ultimate onto that Baron because she thinks they might be on Baron. Mix running down towards that. They know that she is alone, so they could try and pick out this Elise. The Skarner is going for a.
Is going for the cutoff.
Is going to be able to cut off as Azir is going from the bot side. Azir is still there. Skarner going in as well.
Trinket used.
Nowhere
Pixie is
really
trying to
go.
hide. Does get the Banshees. Small wins.
There's a slow.
Stand United is used. That's a mistake, but they don't let the Stand United come through. I think realistically they should have just held Elise there until Stand United came through and picked up the extra kill onto the Shen. But they have now also found Shady in the spot lane. Using the chrono break.
Coming away, but Azir is right at the back of the team just to catch him out.
And yet another kill picked up and put into the pockets of the Azir. This game has got very out of control. Not really too winnable right now. Is there any... Well, okay, and there we go.
Jinx can't really do anything about that. Just running on the 3 inhibs.
Yeah, it does feel like Team Bruv right now has just been playing the better team game, I've been catching out pretty much everything Vengence Esports want to do. Although maybe this is part of their plan. They are called Vengence Esports. Maybe they just want to lose the first round and get vengeance later on.
The Elise getting picked out by that Azir
Does manage to
does
get back
have
into
to
the
get
fountain,
away with
and
the
that will
E
be the end of
and
game
exchange.
1. And yeah, not the best looking game for the side of Vengeance, but that is the first game that they've played in this league being picked up for Team Bruv, and quite a clean victory. Yeah, strong showing here from Team Bruv. Definitely one to watch out for, see if they can challenge our current top tier teams. I would not be surprised if they did. Your thoughts on the game, guys? Anything you want to add?
It'd be interesting to see what the next game happens. They didn't play the early that well on Team Vengeance. They let Team Bruv just get that small lead, and then they capitalized on it. They tried to get come back by getting jungle objectives, but gave away or traded too many kills for like a herald. Instead of trying to force for that herald, you should have just backed out. You denied them from getting herald. That's a win. That's a win in itself. Even though you don't get any turret platings with the herald, you still denied them from getting that even more lead, and just start focusing on playing more as a team instead of going looking for picks on one champion when Team Bruv was rotating very well, and Bruv were also playing as like a 3-man stack or 5-man stack.
Yep. So I think next game we would expect not to well, we know what's in next game. I can't talk about what we'd expect to see or not, but we know that there is no Azir in the next game. I can tell you it was something that was banned. If we look at the bans for this upcoming game, looks like LeBlanc, Kane, and Samira were all banned out on one side, and Azir, Leona, and Ornn. Wait, was it the first game's bans? That might have been the first game's bans. Well, no, because then there's an Azir ban. Definitely the second game bans. We'll get there. It'll just take a little bit of a while. So yes, there was a big swap up of the champions that we see in this second game. The only returning champion that I can see from either team is that Skarner in the jungle, in the hands of Dark Enclave. Um, although I will ask you very quickly, MVPs for that last game.
Ooh. Um,
And in chat,
I
I don't
probably
have the very quickly in chat, just spam whoever you think should get MVP because I don't have the vote thing yet.
my for the losing team, I'd probably say the MVP for me would probably go to that Shen. Shen was doing very well on the taunts onto the back line, was being where needed to be, had a few good ultimates to try and save some members. But I think he did his job as well as he could. He was yeah. I think he had the right global pressure. Was doing well in his lane and also was there for majority of the team fights.
As is
For
being pointed out in the chat for that team as well, is worth noting that Accept did do quite well on the Jinx, despite a few positioning errors and being caught out, but that pretty much applies to the entire team, so you can't really
yeah,
use that as a too bad of a point. You did get a few snipes with the ultimates, and overall, maybe we could have seen a different game if it had not gone so bad early on.
yeah.
On the winning team,
For the winning team, for me personally, it's a toss up between the Azir and the Skarner. The reason why I say Skarner was because the Azir did well to get his did really well to get his early win in the mid lane and was doing very well to get those picks and to be positioned well, protecting himself with the ultimates and also playing very well into the Echo stun. However, the Skarner in the early game was just everywhere he needed to be. He was there in mid lane. He was there top lane when Elise was going for a gank onto the Poppy. Scanner was also there bot lane when there was an engage by Nautilus and Jinx. He was just at the right time. He was at the right place at the right time that whole game, constantly having that pressure around the whole map, and it was kind of hard to kind of realize where he was going to be next because he was constantly everywhere. But I think purely for how the game went, I'd say that my MVP would go to Azir.
Yeah, I think Azir is definitely the easy option here to pick for an MVP.
Yeah.
Got that early solo kill, was consistently getting off really good ultimates, catching people out, chasing them down. Zoe, anything you want to add?
I'm gonna be the boring one here and completely agree with what MrOuldy said, because I feel like Shen was the one who kind of put his team on the back for the losing team. He stood his own in the lane, was the only real half winning lane on the team. And then on the winning team, I definitely agree with the Azir, because him winning so hard in the mid lane kind of opened up a lot of space for this for the Skarner to work with, and that mid jungle synergy was really high on that team, and I feel like it was enabled by Azir winning his lane so hard in the early game. So I'm definitely going with Shen and Azir, like MrOuldy said.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, great. So going into this game two, we did have the Azir band. We have a whole new set of champions. Do you guys have the game ready? Yes? No? Maybe? Ask again later? I should,
Uh,
oh shit, I should hide that. No one saw that.
I feel like you guys are doing fine, so I'm gonna head out and let you keep casting this.
Okay, well, thank you for coming, and we'll get you back casting some other time.
Yeah, I'll see you around.
Catch you later. Um, so in this game, of course, Team Bruv winning game one. That is the wrong. What has happened there? That's not right. Did it not save what I had? Yeah, there we go. I was on the wrong one. Whatever. Can you cast your own game? No.
Just sent in an audio clip of them talking.
Yeah, yeah. No. Maybe it's something to try in the future, but I feel like it's probably a bad idea. um, yeah. We'll see for the future. So this time we do have Shady in the top lane, Innie in the mid. The side of Vengeance has got their hands on those power picks of Amumu and Kale. We have Shady on the Camille in top lane, and Accept and Lo-Fi have the Caitlyn Morgana bot lane. A bot lane that used to be really feared. I have no idea how it does in preseason. I'm assuming it's going to be quite good. They do have it into the Vayne. I guess that was probably a counter pick. On the other side, the side of Team Bruv has managed to get their hands on that Malphite, another really strong pick. It's not in the mid lane, it is for Vink in that top lane. We have Dark Enclave in the Skarner on the Skarner jungle. We have Skycold on the Orianna mid. Punky Boy has that Vayne in the bottom lane, backed up by strong Ewok on the Lulu.
Do we know what the picks were in order? I'm guessing that they first picked probably the Skarner, and then, they probably picked out the Amumu and the Kale. Definitely.
Well, Vengeance is on the blue side, so they would have had to pick one first. So I'd guess they picked one of the two,
I
and then
think they probably picked up the Kale first, as they banned them last game. So I think they would have picked up the Kale first, which then led for a Malphite pick, because Malphite does well into Kale, and they probably picked out the Skarner or the Skarner in that second one, because he's done well on the Skarner last game and it was open, which then probably led to a Mumu and then a Camille pick.
yeah,
Because Skarner was picked as those two then picked, so went into the third banning phase. They probably picked out. They might have picked out the Orianna there to leave the bot lane sort of undecided, as they haven't been out their bot lane at that point. And then went into the next stage of bans, and then picked out. Out of those two, I'd probably say the stronger one out of them would probably be a Lulu. Lulu was probably picked. That's why the Morgana was picked for the Black Shield against the Polymorph. And then
I'm
Caitlyn
fairly
again,
certain Vayne was
and
not the
picked
last
Caitlyn.
pick. You wouldn't pick Vayne into
Sure.
Caitlyn. Or you shouldn't pick Vayne into
Yeah,
Caitlyn.
unless
I think
it
it's
was
more likely the
Orianna
other
last
way
pick.
round. You pick the Caitlyn. You see the Vayne pick though, so you pick Caitlyn in a response, and you think who goes well with Caitlyn. Morgana's a really great pick with
Okay.
Caitlyn. And then
Yeah, so
Lulu
Lulu was
as
the last
the
pick.
pickup
Yeah.
in return.
Almost right. Almost right.
Very almost, yeah.
Just
Yes, so those are our two teams in terms of what we see for runes. There's nothing too untowards, nothing too unexpected here. Fleet footwork on the Caitlyn just to help keep her topped up in lane. Both supports running Airy for that little bit of extra shielding and damage for trades. Orianna also taking the Airy for some more of those small trades in the mid lane. So there we go. Are you ready to begin?
I am ready.
Let me check I'm on the right screen. I am. So 3, 2, 1, play. And we start to load into the game. We can see various things being picked up for both teams. Immediately I do see that Vayne has picked up that Cull, which is quite a strange pickup, I feel like, into the Caitlyn. You would expect to get bullied quite heavily. So, kind of a strange pickup.
Yeah, so just a quick explanation on the jungle item. If you hover over it, you can see after you smite the 5 times, you consume the item, which grants all the effects permanently. But if you have
Ah,
gained more gold from minions than jungle monsters, golden experience from minions is heavily reduced. So that is going to be a permanent stat for once you consume it. Orianna is pathing up to this top side. They can see Camille on that. There is a Q coming out from the Amalphite. Kale could be picked out here, but it's
no, they
just going
just
to be
get a
away.
lot of nice damage there onto the Camille. Looks like he's going to choose to back. I'm not sure that's really the best option here. I probably would have tried to stay in lane at that point. Well, he might get back actually before any minions die. But the main thing is if you can make it back before the minions do die.
Well, Malphite also had backed at this point as well, so he is actually just a
It's going to
few
be fine
units.
either way, but
Yeah, he is just a few units behind the Camille. Camille's just walked past first turret. Malphite is walking past first turret now.
yep.
So is a little bit behind Camille walking to lane.
Both junglers are starting on the bottom side of the map. Amumu is a little bit ahead on the clear, I'd say right now.
Amumu, yeah, will be a little bit ahead.
You can see the power of that comet in the top lane from the Malphite, especially
Yeah.
early. If Camille does not get that shield up before the Q hits her, she will take a lot of damage. Skycall going for very aggressive trades in the mid lane, using the fact that he's got that level advantage, as you would expect. And in the bot lane, a lot of bullying also coming out.
Against Kale, you can be very aggressive early, pre sort of level 2. There's
Shady
the
abusing this level difference,
Evo.
getting Vink down to just under 200 health.
There is a corrupting pot used by Vink with the I've forgotten what it's called, but it's the rune that just automatically uses the pot and heals
Time
you up.
Warp Tonic.
That one, Time Warp Tonic.
You can see the level difference here in the bottom lane means that Accept just gets to walk up and auto attack constantly. And they're getting quite a big CS lead right now, so that will get picked up when the wave hits the tower.
in the jungle is kind of fairly even on the clearing side. Amumu's now got his last two single target mobs and monsters to kill, which takes a little bit longer for takes kind of quite quick time. And Skarner has got his two sort of mini monsters. Oriana could be pathing up to this topside scuttle. You can see Camille has gone down to help out with it. It can turn into a 3v2 here though, with a sandwich on this Skarner. Skarner is going to get engaged. There's a flash. Camille's
Flash is
going to look
used.
for it. And we'll just back out safely. It's going for the bottom scuttle as they have just traded that.
Yeah, that was a lot of nice damage put down on there onto the Skarner, meaning that he would have to back off. It'll be interesting to see whether they decide to try and take a gank or something else.
Yeah, I feel they should have communicated that with the Malphite a little bit better. If Malphite was going to come down, they could look for it. Otherwise, it would just be a 3v2 with a lot of early damage from Amumu and Camille against Oriana and Skarner.
You can see, despite being a level down there, Shady just about winning out on the trades.
Amumu going into that mid lane, looking for a hook onto the Oriana. Don't think it's connected. Just walking down.
Of course, Spectator knows it's not going to connect, so it's like, yeah, we're not even going to show you this.
Just watching farming bot lane.
Everyone loves watching some bot lane farming. You can see there's a lot of wards put down here from the side of Team Bruv. I'm not sure that one in lane is supposed to be there. Probably just a misclick of that ward in the bush. Trying to do the over the wall ward. They are putting wards behind them as well, just to make sure that they have an idea if they're going to be getting tower dived.
Yeah.
So very
nice
good
into that sort of team. Especially with an Amumu once he gets level 6.
Nice route from Lo-Fi.
Hopefully we see the Mobies come out on that Morgana.
We'll see, we'll see. You can see that there are CS leads opening up in both the mid lane and the bottom lane, but they pretty much mirror each other, so no real gold lead overall.
This top lane is exactly, like, almost perfectly equal.
It's equal, but there is a massive red wave there, so Shady should be able to get ahead from that when he does pick that up.
The gold is very equal topside as well. We'll go on the side of Shady in a minute because of the massive top like red wave. Amumu has gotten deep warding into the jungle, so they know Skarner's going to go for that early dragon. But I'm surprised Amumu hasn't gone for that early dragon. He has some fire. He can now just go for that dragon at this point.
Oh, and there's an engage in the mid lane. Shockwave was used. 6 was hit by Kale.
Just ultimate coming in the nick of time. Shady going onto Vink topside. There's the ultimate coming out. Vink taking a lot of damage against it, and no one to really come against him. He has
just over 200 health.
Hasn't got 6, so can't really
cheese wheel into flash and just walk away. He does get out of that. Does have to expend the flash.
Does have a really nice wave coming in, knowing that Shady doesn't have ultimate now. He could be looking for a once he gets his ultimate, if she stays. Amumu on the top side, teleport in from the Oriana.
Yeah, Oriana really is putting a lot of pressure down here. Quite important to note. Whereas in the mid lane, nothing has really been done to punish her. It looks like we could have a potential gank coming out here though in the mid lane. My camera doesn't want to fly out. This guy called out of position.
Does get hit.
Double
by that.
Stun.
No ultimate yet. It doesn't have ultimate. Does have flash, but first blood goes to Amumu.
Picked up. Put onto the Amumu. Kale will teleport back in just to pick up this wave. And that is some much needed pressure alleviated from that middle lane.
They know that the Skarner is there. They are walking up to it. Skarner now knows that they are coming to him. Amumu taking that blue away from him and probably pathing down to the dragon.
Yeah, and just a very nice deny. They are going in towards that Drake. Meanwhile, in this top lane, Shady's still doing some really heavy trades here into the Malphite, generally winning out because Camille true damage.
Think is looking for something.
Oh, but there's the unstoppable force. Shady's very low, flashes away, stays alive. That's a massive wave. He doesn't want to die here now. Stun is put down.
And gets traded for the kill.
But that is a massive win for Malphite. Look at that
Yeah.
wave. All of that wave now, all that XP, all that gold is gone, and Malphite has basically just equaled up the lane.
Has still got the the teleport on the Malphite, so it can look for something else. Whereas the Camille does not have teleport, so that is actually going to be about 2 or 3 waves missed by the Camille just by that tower.
Shockwave
There's
is
the
used in the
ultimate
mid
coming
lane,
out.
and Mumu is here
There
to back up
Amumu
Kale
has
though.
the ultimate. There is a suppression going through that whole stun of Amumu.
No
but
ult
still
on Kale, and
gets
she
the
does go
kill.
down.
She was suppressed for that whole duration of the stun, and Amumu has to flash away into the mid lane. Bot lane is roaming up, but it's going to be a bit too late.
Yeah, nice punish there. The kill came out just before Camille's ultimate could come back up. So they're really trying to use those cooldowns to their advantage and get ahead whenever they can.
So I would say I have to admit the CS difference in this bot lane isn't as big as people think it is. It's about just 1.5 wave different on the Caitlyn right now, whereas mid lane is at least
Oh, a nice
5.
interrupt on the back from
There's the
Hextech
ultimate coming
Ultimatum
out
is
on
thrown down, and
that.
that will definitely be a dead Orianna. They donate it
Is
over to the
waiting
Kale.
for that Kale.
Yep, Leeching Leer picked up on the Kale. I had not seen that item before, so I had to check. I think we'll walk into Shady here.
Malphite could go onto this Camille. No, it
Put
has no
down.
ultimate.
Dark Enclave
He
is
has
here.
the ultimate coming up, and here's the
There's
Skarner coming
no
in.
escape.
Not gonna get that stun connected, but a Malphite does have ultimate now. They're waiting for them to re-engage Camille. Camille is coming up, so it's not worth with that Camille ultimate. I have to say that in team fights, it's going to be very scary for the side of, well, for both sides, to be honest, with Amumu's ultimate of the AoE, with Camille's sort of lockdown, and Kale's survivability. Plus, on the side of Bruv, you do have that Malphite Orianna Shockwave combo, and you also have the pick potential via the Skarner.
So we're entering a tiny bit of a lull now, and we don't have an objective coming, or a big objective coming up for just over a minute. It will be that Ocean Drake as the next big objective to come up. But
They
there's
are
an engage
looking
in this
for
mid
a
lane.
engage on this Kale. Is going to be brought back to the turret. Shockwave coming out. Is that
Bring back
there's the
again.
ultimate by
Divine
the
Judgment
Kale.
goes down very late.
Amumu is coming. Does get that kill on the Orianna. Amumu a little bit late. Does not connect with the Q, and the Camille cannot make it down in time to save that Kale.
Yeah, the Divine Judgment really needed to come out far before. I would have liked to see it used when the Orianna ult was coming out. That would be a very good time to stop a lot of the damage burst coming out from the Orianna.
As
Otherwise,
soon as they came out of that suppress ultimate from the Skarner, I feel like it should have come on, because you can sort of predict that Orianna will try and keep you in a situation where you cannot get away.
yeah, you could even try and turn it around at that point. The Divine Judgment does do a lot of damage. You could try and at least force a flash or something.
Well,
but when you use it at the last second to walk away when all of the burst has already been used, it's not likely to actually keep you alive.
It was more of a survivability thing, as they knew that the Amumu and the Camille was coming down. They do. Both teams did know that. Team Bruv does have a ward in that river when they spotted the Camille walking down and the Amumu was going over. Vink is getting engaged on by the Camille, but it's not a full-on fledged dive on him.
Yes, you just see these small trades just come out again and again whenever Camille has small combos up. She'll go for those trades onto the Malphite. Meanwhile, he'll try and use that cheese wheel whenever he can.
Is doing a lot
That's a
more.
bit slow. Malphite is quite low. Hextech Ultimatum.
Skarner is coming. There's
Flash
a
away.
Does have ultimate, and Skarner
Unstoppable
is going
force.
to
Oh
chase.
no.
Skarner is now there.
Vink is
there.
still alive.
Fink does get away. No one to follow up onto Fink, and
But that will be a
look for a kill. There's a flash coming out
flash.
on the Camille.
And no one actually dies in that. Pings are coming down towards this Drake now that they know that Skarner is on the top side of the map. So we might see Vengeance try and just sneak themselves a second Drake. We'll have to see if that is their plan.
They go for a gank onto the Orianna instead, does not connect and uses
They
the
just want to put
Herald.
down the Herald. Oh, but they do get the bandage toss onto Orianna, forces the flash over the wall. Meanwhile, Accept going extremely aggressive. That was an interesting interaction. That didn't look right.
Well, that was a polymorph when he E'd and still could auto. That's strange.
Yep. That's what I mean. Did not look great. You can see the amount of pressure that the Caitlyn Morgana lane has here. They've got this tower down to one plate left.
There's
Oh no.
Morgana going in there. Morgana will just get picked off here though. There's the Zhonya's.
Lots of damage put down onto strong Ewok.
And will get flash.
Flash and heal are used to keep him alive. We might see a tower dive coming out here. Both Amumu and Kayle were looking towards this bottom lane, but they won't do it. That tower does fall though. That's a lot of extra gold. Still, you could just see Shady will keep getting the better of these trades. I'm not sure if there's ever a point where Malphite starts to win, especially when Camille has true damage, has the healing from the grasp. I suppose if you use your shield extremely effectively, maybe you can start to win it. Interestingly, we can see that there is the double stopwatch on the Morgana. She is trying to farm Krugs up right now.
Krugs and could be dying to Krugs.
Just pick up a little bit of extra gold, try and get towards that first item. Looks like maybe we'll be seeing a Zhonya's coming out.
Has got 2 broken stopwatches.
Yes, I did notice that.
Oh. Probably one from runes and one buying.
Yup. Yes, I would guess so.
Straight into Sonya's out.
You can see one of them stolen. Sonya's is finished up. Oh, bandage toss onto Skarner.
Skarner
Kayle
is a level ahead. There's the ultimate coming out onto the Skarner. There's a teleport
from Malphite.
By the Malphite. Amumu just
Kayle could be a little caught out. Needs to be ready to ult here.
There's the stun. Will get suppressed soon if the knockup comes up. Ultimate comes down. Orianna is there.
Judgment.
They are looking
Ace in the hole.
Engage.
Doesn't do any damage.
Camille's coming as well. There is an opportunity for almost an opportunity for a 3-man knockup and ult, but you can see with that ultimate from the Caitlyn coming up, you can see that she was coming up to the top side jungle, and now Morgana is there, so it is a 5v3.
Meanwhile, we just had Vayne Lulu pushing that bottom lane, getting as far ahead as possible. Vayne has 1 stack left on that Cull. Cull is finished. This does actually put them a few hundred gold ahead, the side of Team Bruv. So they are a few hundred gold ahead right here. I'd assume most of that gold right now is actually in that middle lane.
They have swapped lanes now to put the Caitlyn and Morgana top lane, but this can be an engage. Skarner is looking for it with Turbo Chem Tank.
Flash
There's a
used.
Flash out by the Skarner, just going to get stunned. The suppress coming into that.
And that shield was too late.
And Kayle is also top lane by teleporting there.
Flash is forced out from the Skarner in the end, and a good rotation there from Amumu and Kayle just to save their bot lane.
The Herald.
Yes, they'll look to get this Herald, probably try and break the mid tower with it if possible, open up the map a little bit more, make it not quite as safe for the Orianna to just walk up here and exert so much pressure. You can see pings coming down into the middle lane now, likely that they will try and get this gank into a kill onto that Orianna and put the Herald down. They might just choose to drop it here. It should, I believe, kill the tower as it stands.
Blue buff going over to Morgana.
Yeah, take the fast back. Of course, they have a lot of time left to use this buff whenever they need to. This Herald, so no particular rush. Ping's coming down onto Camille.
They are
no Shady is there.
Camille. There's a stun, almost.
But a nice escape.
up. No ultimate from that from the Skarner would have been able to cancel that E jump if he had ultimate.
Yep.
Malphite
Camille
is
just
looking
manages
for
to
a
hook
pick
shot.
on that Camille, but does just be able to the Kale, not Camille. Kale just
Kale.
manages to pick
Yep,
away.
the unstoppable force is up, so he could hard force this if he really wanted to, but it looks like he's just happy to sit and be annoying. So back's being taken. People are just getting their extra items up. I'm interested to see that Caitlyn Morgana are still going back towards that top lane, considering that a dragon is spawning in just under 20 seconds. I thought maybe after that back, Caitlyn would head towards the bottom lane to force that pressure and make sure they got that dragon.
Malphite does dodge that Q quite nicely. Skarner is coming down to this dragon. Bot lane is kind of busy at the moment. Could be looking for a dragon fight with just those three.
They will.
They do have the ultimates for it. They can look for this quite nicely. The Skarner going in deep for it. Not looking for a Q. There's a
There
Q
is a
on
bandage
the
toss. Maximus is in the enemy team, but does just
The
get
bot
chunked
lane
out.
has come down to roam against this Morgana. Could be looking for
Oh,
a
and that's a miss.
There's a flash coming out from that. Very nice sort of pick on
Yeah, the
there.
miss on the dark binding there really mattered. Means he had to flash
Yeah.
out of that. Earthdrake has been started up. Looks like
Caitlyn
they might look
ultimate
for a
is doing the
steal here.
same.
They do have vision of it right now. Vision will drop off in just a few
Until
seconds.
Force
There's no
is
vision
up, they're
at the
going to chase
moment.
onto this
There's
this
blind into it, and they steal the dragon. Maximus does get it. Shady is on the
knockdown
backside here. A
on
4-man stun there from Mixer.
Lulu has to flash away from
Accept
that.
is also here to back up the Amumu, and it's a really great fight here from this side of Vengeance Esports. That's 2 down already. They will pick up the Skarner as a third. Punky Boy is very low. Shady looks like he wants to go for this.
Camille is looking for a last pick on Vayne. Lulu does get out. Unfortunately, the 3 people who died were the 3 people who didn't even use their ultimates. You still have Shockwave, Skarner's ultimate called
That is fine.
Impale, and also Unstoppable Force has not been used in that fight.
It looks like Vengeance here will go for this tower. Oh, they do take a jump onto.
A lot of damage coming
there.
onto that enemy team, and now that the team is up.
Respawns are coming through. Looks like they're not going to go for this. Guy called has managed to get in behind Shockwave, but a nice bandage toss to get out of that one. They do still want to take this 4v4. Unstoppable Force used. Lo-Fi is just standing still, giving over that kill. Shady.
I kind of feel that might have been a disconnect. That
yes.
was a disconnect. Camille is going to get picked out here. Still has Impale up.
That's also needed. A DC from Camille. I'm surprised there wasn't a pause. I'm surprised no one paused at the disconnects.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kale will just pick up the red buff on the top side of the map. Overall, not really too much picked up there. They did get the bot lane inhib tower, actually. They just read the chat. Yeah. For the future, you guys, if someone does DC, just pause the game. Let the other team know you've got a DC. There's nothing against it. If there are excessive pauses for no particular reason, then we'll care about it. But we're not going to care for if there's not pauses. They did pause. Don't show in the replay. Yeah, I know it doesn't really show. You just get a random amount of text coming up, but it looked like the pause was quite a way after the disconnects happened. So just as soon as you know someone's disconnecting, just go for it. It doesn't really matter if you have a pause for like a few seconds.
They waited 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, that's quite a while. Dark Enclave has been caught out here. That should just be another kill going down. He flashes.
He does have phase rush.
Accept chooses to use the flash there. Get away from the Orianna ball.
And Accept does take up that kill.
So that is the Skarner down. Another kill into the pockets of Accept. Well, one kill into the pockets of Accept.
The side of Vengeance is very equal, to be honest. You have 3 kills on the Camille, then it's 2 on Amumu, and the rest have got 1 on each.
Do you like to see
whereas
that?
the team and Team Bruv are very much forwards into the members that it matters. Kind of Malphite, Orianna, and Vayne. They do look for an engage here.
Hextech
Malphite
ultimatum thrown down onto the Malphite.
does
Looks like
have
they'll try and
ultimate.
burst him in. He
Very
does
nice
use
knockup.
Unstoppable
There's
Force
the
into the
shockwave.
Shockwave. 3-man
Very
Unstoppable
nice
Force
double
into
kill,
Shockwave
and now
combo.
it's
Shady
just
left on
Shady
his own.
getting his triple. That very nice change, and this is what I meant earlier about having that sort of team fight ability. You have the Lulu ultimate, the knock-up by a Malphite, and the Shockwave can be very damaging in tight spaces, as they just shown. Might have been able to turn that if the Mumu
Sky
was
Cold
there.
is extremely low. Might just die to the Baron here. Has to back off. The teleport was used by Vink just to come back in. Potentially Maximus
That
could pick
Mumu
up.
is going to look for that Orianna. But
He comes over the wall.
he does have that ultimate
Does go
to
in,
use.
but that Baron is
It's
way too
done
high on
to
health.
press. Very nice. He was looking
Impale
for the
used.
ultimate.
Ultimate from
And
Maximus,
good
but
guy that gets the shutdown gold onto that Vayne. Very, very nice.
however, Orianna did die in the meantime, but it was to the Baron. Unfortunately, Maximus did not manage to tag him. Lo-Fi is here, could potentially get a lucky steal on this. That was very low, 79 health.
Do want to point out as well that Dragon is coming up in 30 seconds. This is Soul Point for Vengeance, so this is a very... That's still channeling, yeah. So shields basically is shields. So shields does actually stop the back, will not stop backing if you have a shield on. As soon as that shield is gone, any sort of damage will stop. And that
Yeah,
Morgana
well, there is
really
I think it's a 0.5 second grace period where if you're 0.5 seconds away from backing, damage also doesn't stop you.
That could be a pick for that. There's no impale, unfortunately.
A
Caitlyn
lot
is
of
doing
damage
a
put
lot
down
of
onto the
damage.
Skarner. That could matter if they want to go for this. Shady has found the Lulu on the backside. That's half of the health and damage already gone. Hextech ultimatum used,
lockdown
but he's
going
in a
on for
1v4 right
Camille.
now. Gets
It's
put
not-
down to just over 100 health. The burn is ticking on him, but he will heal slightly back up. And now
Don't
he is...
have Unstoppable Force and Shockwave open. This can
Oh,
be an
no.
easy steal. Does steal it
Oh,
with
and
the
it's a
Orianna
steal
ball.
from the Orianna. I saw 100 health there on the Dragon. Maximus
And the
will get
Vayne
picked
does
up.
get it. There's the Ultimate Force on the KO. This is a very nice sort of pick here.
Unstoppable Force. And Vayne is just running down the team. We'll ignore that flash into the wall.
What flash into the wall?
Exactly, I didn't see a flash into the wall except trying to back here in a bush, but it looks like Team Bruv know where he is, and they're just speeding up that Malphite cheese wheel. Will they donate this kill over to the Orianna? Yes, they will.
They will.
Guy Cole gets a bit more gold.
It's the best person to put it on there. If Vayne isn't going to be there, then put it into the Orianna.
Yep, and that's a almost 3,000 gold lead right now for this side of Team Bruv. Camille will push down that top tower. Finally, that is all the outer towers taken. They haven't really managed to get to that inhib in the bottom lane or do anything important there on the side of Vengeance. This Baron should really help, especially Vink in that top lane from
Vink is getting
Shady's
engaged
push.
on, and the damage is kind of even right now. From before earlier, where Shady was doing a lot more to the Vink, Vink is now doing a lot more to Shady, and Shady's now having to use his E to disengage instead of engage.
Yeah, I think he just knew or sensed that potentially he was getting collapsed on there, as you could see Vayne and Lulu disappeared from mid as they were walking up towards that top lane, so he decided to use it for the disengage rather than to continue on. Eventually, Camille will still win that just from the virtue of her extra true damage that she does get.
Yeah.
And the fact that a lot of Malphite's defenses fall off as soon as you get through that initial shield.
Amumu is looking on the bot side. You can see Caitlyn is bot lane, so they are going to look for a pick probably in the mid lane. Orianna is going down towards that bot side, looking for a blue.
Ping's coming down on to accept on the Caitlyn. He is very far up on his own. Skarner is a very fast Scorpion, but he will not be able to get there in time.
Just thinking that they're in the bush again, not realizing that the Caitlyn has backed away.
Shady just
going for round 2 against Shady top lane. Is this going to be a interesting fight again? Takes 1 turret damage, 1 turret shot, and is still engaging.
Yeah, you can see
in the trade.
that Ravenous Hydra is really just keeping Shady topped up, and he's just walking in and damaging the tower, pretty much ignoring Malphite. It's a tank, doesn't do that much damage. Maximus going for this. Does use the ult to stun down that Lulu. Yeah. Lulu on almost no health flashes over the wall and looks like she will get out. Burn, not quite enough to finish her off.
That was very close and very well played by Punky Boy to try and stop that ultimate from connecting onto the Lulu. It was a very close ultimate. It was literally just on the rim of it, which was very nice. Lulu still does have ultimate, so if they if they knew they were going to die, they would have been able to get away.
And Vink is very low here, actually. Unstoppable Force will not get out of that Hex Deck ultimatum. Vink is very low, tries to flash in the end, but hook shot will follow up. What says Vink obviously does not know about the interaction between Camille's ultimate and Malphite's. I like having the chat up. You get to see people's reactions in the game. I should probably have hidden it, but
I was going to hide it, but it's fun to see their reactions when something like that happens.
Yeah. Well, if you're not the main person
this one,
except might be caught here.
Fight because the very nice ultimate
Shockwave gets two, forces the flash out of the Caitlyn.
Going onto the Lulu, they are still focusing on that
did
Morgana
pick up that kill on the Morgana.
Caitlyn, the ultimate from Kayle goes out into the Caitlyn. Vayne is now currently fighting.
Miximus just trying to get out of this. Does manage to walk away, and that's a lot of ultimates used. Overall, just the Morgana falls. Slight win for Team Bruv.
I was just going to say, actually, before that fight picked out, is that you can see that the timers have actually synchronized on Baron and Dragon. Baron is a very good sort of pushing thing, especially with an open
Vink might be a bit too far forwards, but is he actually, or is it Shady who's too far forwards?
A lot of damage. Vayne is now going
doing a lot of damage.
Camille.
Hextech ultimatum used.
And Orianna goes over to the Camille. This could be a Dragon into a Baron fight.
Yeah, Shady trying to push that lead really there when the rest of his team were backed. Yeah, not the best time to engage. It'll be interesting to see which of these teams want to go for Baron and which ones want to go for Dragon.
I think it's going to be a Dragon play because of the soul.
Vengeance definitely want to go towards this Dragon to stop it.
It looks like... Well, it looks like Kayle might be looking to do Baron. But I think backs off because the team is going for the Dragon.
You can actually see here that this is getting pushed through very quickly. Miximus was definitely just not there in time. Nice play from Team Bruv there.
It was a nice pick as well because they did force a lot of things out before that happened. Kayle didn't have ultimate for that fight, neither did Camille. Camille did get picked out for that as well. So a lot of the main ultimates that they need for fights on the side of Vengeance is now gone. They will be looking for a Baron play soon while pushing out these lanes so they don't get pushed against them.
Yes, yeah. Vengeance just waited too long on that play and didn't get the Baron. Either did not try and trade it for the Baron. Usually in that situation you do tend to think, do we want to go for the Dragon? And then you force a fight over it and really try and get it, or you will just straight up decide.
Ultimate going onto the Orianna. Orianna does have a shield, so it only takes about 100 damage.
Nothing really going out there. When you're Caitlyn, you will just poke with that ace in the hole at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Baron was started up. Miximus very far forwards there.
Very close. They are spreading themselves out, so an unstoppable
Team Bruv won this fight. Miximus goes in though, uses the ultimate.
Misses the Orianna.
He's still alive. Dark Enclave is down. It's now a 5v4. Punky Boy not able to pick up that kill. Does eventually manage to get it. The Dark Binding has gone onto Lulu. Lulu is already down, but massive shockwave.
Vayne is just
destroys Accept. Shady also down. Lo-Fi using the stopwatch at the wrong time when no one was looking at him. He comes out of it when the rest of the team is ready to just finish him off there. And what looked like initially it might end up being a good fight for Vengeance just comes down as an absolute smash.
They just weren't focusing the right people. They got a Skarner and a Lulu out. A Lulu already used ultimate. Like, after Lulu had used ultimate, you kind of want to turn onto the Orianna and the Vayne. However, they just weren't focusing it at all. The Vayne
was that shockwave there was what really pulled it.
Really
you could see Sky Cold Skycold assassinated Accept there. Accept was
Yeah.
putting down so much damage, and without that shockwave combo onto the Caitlyn, pulling her out of that fight, I think that would have been a win for Vengeance.
It would have been a win for Vengeance, yeah. But I'd say that the ultimate of Camille, I don't know if it was I don't know if it went down or not, but I think it went onto the Lulu instead. I think the ultimate actually went onto the Lulu instead of going onto like an Orianna or the Vayne, which it can be good, but Lulu had already used ultimate in that situation, and the carries of the team Bruv right now is that Orianna and that Vayne, and Vayne was just able to kite for that entire fight and just peel herself.
Shady a little bit
And
out of position here.
Shade onto
Skycold will just
Shady,
come up.
there is Orianna there as well. There is the Chem Tank
Slow
Turbo
is
coming.
thrown down.
There is this a speed up
Oh,
there as
nice
well.
and pale.
And there's the ultimate coming there. There's the shockwave coming into on that Camille.
Hook tries
Does
to
not
get out, but
escape
the
from
burn
that
is too
Leandry
much.
burn. The rest of the team is now sort of going down towards that bot side. They do need to kind of trade these turrets bot lane because of the open inhib. Caitlyn is going for that mid
Looks like
lane.
Biximus is looking for a
turret.
potential fight, although
He's looking for a fight.
I'm not sure they really want this. This is a
They just need to
3v4,
focus onto that
and
Kale. Like
Kale
their damage
can't
comes
get
up into
in.
the Kale.
Oriana's just too close to her. Meanwhile, Accept is
Caitlyn-
pushing up this middle lane. It feels like he still thinks he's a top lane, the amount I've seen him split pushing.
He
Will
is now
potentially
going to
get
be
this
into
inhib tower.
fight against Orianna. Just gets turret. Is looking for a tower, but Orianna can actually go onto it. There's the shockwave. There's
Forces
a flash
the
by
flash
the
from Accept.
just
But oh, the
burn is
burn
going
there will pick him
kill.
up.
Just playing very aggressive.
Meanwhile,
constantly.
two lanes are being threatened here from the side of Team Bruv. Vink just pushing in that top lane. He's got two towers now, looking for the inhib.
Vink
Shady
is
will
going-
contest him on
Maybe
it.
isn't contesting on it. However, bot lane is
Bot
just
lane
going
also
in for
goes.
an inhib. Orianna now pushing out this mid lane.
Shady using the
That
Hextech
ultimate
ultimatum
coming
yet
again.
again to interrupt the unstoppable force. That's one kill picked up.
Dragon is coming up in 18 seconds now. This is the second soul point that they can deny, putting them on soul point for the next dragon. So it's very vital. This one or the next is going to be very vital for Vengeance to win.
These
Caitlyn
teamfights
is now
have
up.
been so close that that shield will really make a difference. We do have to keep an eye. The dragon is just being burnt down. Maximus has to bandage us now. Does not blindly bandage us over the wall, so does not have a chance at all to steal that.
If they just went for it, I think they could have actually changed that fight. Even though they didn't have Accept there, the enemy team didn't have that Mal fight. They could have actually looked for a pick there, maybe even trying to steal that dragon.
Meanwhile, we do have Shady on the Camille pushing this side wave. 2 rows of super minions coming in is a lot more golden XP that can be funneled into the carries of the side of Vengeance. You probably want to try and get that Caitlyn's level up, currently lagging 2 levels behind the Vayne. The XP is definitely on the side of Team Bruv right now, as well as that gold lead, which they've managed to balloon out to about 6,000. This game is a lot closer though. Definite improvement. The Condemn just used to disengage the Amumu.
I think it was to try and engage on the Amumu, but the Amumu just got outside of that wall. If they got that
Shady
Condemn onto the wall, they
did
might
take
have
those
something.
trades. Smells you might be in trouble though. Everyone's been gone from mid lane for quite a while. We'll just use the hook shot to disengage
There's the
in that
Turbo
bot lane.
Content coming out from that. Skarner is looking to go onto that Camille, but that E is just too strong to get her away. Orianna is top lane pushing up that top. Kale does want to go over to that Morgana. No, not Morgana. The Orianna. Morgana is pathing up towards there. However,
Backs
they
coming out from the
really
side of
want to
Vengeance
get
as
in
Team
here.
Bruv is just pushing up with 4 in this bottom lane, forcing the pressure and making
Top lane
Vengeance
is
come to
also
them.
got 2 super minions coming in. They're clearing out the mid wave so they can get that sort of trade onto the open inhib mid. Currently in the favor of Team Bruv, as they've got an extra turret over Vengeance. Vengeance have got 3 turrets left, including the inhib and mid lane, whereas Team Bruv have 4 turrets, including inhib top and tier 2 top.
Just so the thing to remember though is that is a lot of extra gold and experience that is going back into the pockets of Vengeance. So they really have to try and use the fact these inhibs are down to net them something. They've not really managed to do anything with it just yet. We'll have to see if they manage to convert it into this Baron that will be spawning in 30 seconds.
I've seen that they're actually trying to funnel it into the Camille and the Caitlyn, and I kind of feel that they should probably funnel it into the Kale and the Caitlyn instead of the Camille. Camille should probably be in this mid lane, like helping clearing out with the Morgana and a Mumu, purely because Kale has gotten to that level 16. She's level 17 at the moment, not level 18, but is still behind by quite a bit in
Well,
gold.
Kale
Still
has those main items. She's almost full build, I believe. Just one more item needed. Oh, we'll get caught out
Kale
here
is gonna
though.
get caught out.
Divine
There's the
Judgment is
ultimate.
used, but Polymorph comes down.
Kale, and the damage from
It's
the
just too
damage
high.
from
Yeah,
Orion is too much.
I'm not too surprised they're putting it into the Camille at this point and the Caitlyn. They're the ones that are most behind on items right now. Kale
Caitlyn definitely.
Camille, also you want to put a lot of gold into the Camille if you want her to be able to actually split push effectively. She needs to be able to win out on that side lane. You want to try and realistically get her to the point where she can 1v2, because that really forces a lot of pressure into that lane. Team Bruv, however,
with the Kale. Kale should also be able to do that into a side lane. They've got 2 really good split pushing champions. However, because they're behind, they do not want to.
Shady is on the flank here. Accept is trying to put some damage down, but that is one tanky Malphite Unstoppable Force used onto the Caitlyn. Very low, the shields are thrown down, the ult comes out from a Mumu. Teleport coming in was interrupted.
Very nice, coming in for that. There's Kale using the ultimate there.
Impale thrown down onto Kale. She's still alive. Flash forwards from Punky.
Gets killed by Punky, and then Malphite clears up that kill.
Meanwhile, Oriana
that,
did try to teleport in. Yeah, Oriana tried to teleport in, was interrupted by Camille, and she does pick up that kill in the 1v1. However, this is 4 people left alive against just the 2. Shady taking a lot of damage and is instantly popped. Ewok is down, but Punky Boy is still full health.
Lulu, but the damage on the Vayne is too much.
Too much, and they will end the game here. A 2-0 for Team Bruv over Vengeance Esports in this first series for the Ocean Bracket. So that's our first series of the Ocean Bracket done with. We did have one River Bracket series, and I do actually have a table, which I may have set up beforehand. Here's a table I made earlier. And you can see we even have a lot of the nice logos. Yay! So you can see in the other bracket we did have SAS Desert versus TLH, which was very close, and both teams managed to win 1 game. Here, Team Bruv has picked up the 2 wins, putting them at the top of our table. For week 1, we will be having the other games tomorrow, which I believe are SAS Arctic versus Guys in Real Life, and I think Madly Mediocre V5. Oh, it's Madly Mediocre Young Prodigies, I believe, actually. So we will have to wait and see how those games turn out. Is there a game you're particularly excited to see out of those?
It'll be a rematch of Arctic versus Girl, which would be quite enjoyable.
Yes, I think last time Girl really got the better of Arctic, so we'll have to see how Arctic have improved. What we forgot to do though was MVPs for that last game.
MVPs for last game, okay. On the losing team, I'd have to go to the Camille. Camille had a lot of pressure in side lanes, also had a lot of pressure into that team fight. Was positioned well to try and get onto the enemy carries.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Was pushed up a few times, pushed up a bit too far a few times, did get caught a couple of times, but overall was putting down a lot of nice pressure in the sideways, which is what you want from your Camille. Was those matches correct? What do you mean one of the matches correct? Except,
Um, on the side of Team Bruv, it's gonna have to go to the Oriana. The Oriana Shockwave in the team fight turned that fight for Vayne. Was constantly where they needed to be. Had a lot of pressure onto the KO in the mid lane from the start, stopping KO from getting level 6 early. Played very well into the KO to be a bullying that one. Had good roams into other lanes, and was able to get a lot of good shutdown and funneling gold into the right members into that team.
yeah, yet again, I do agree with that. I think you can argue definitely for other members. This is not to say
Yeah.
any of the other members were not capable of being able to get an MVP there, but I think definitely the shockwaves were on point and really catching out the members that he needed to, and can see that definitely this mid laner for the side of Team Bruv is someone to watch out for. Sky Cold. Don't forget the name. So that is our 2 games for the day. That is 2 of our 4 games for the week. The other 2 games will be tomorrow, I believe, at 6 p.m. On 6 p.m. GMT tomorrow is one of the games, and the other one has yet to be decided exactly when it's going to be played. I think they're going to try and organize it for beforehand, which will be quite cool. I'll see which casters we can get for those games. Maybe we'll have some that maybe we'll have some familiar faces. Maybe we'll get some new ones. I know that Yoria is not around, so we'll see, and it'll be quite interesting. And here is our nice table that it took me hours to make. It's surprisingly a long time because OBS is not a very nice thing to use,
No.
but it will allow me to like change it midstream, which is good. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for coming to watch. Thanks MrOuldy for coming and casting,
No worries.
and belated thanks to Trollzoe for coming and casting for the game that he did. And we will see you all yet again on this channel tomorrow for the final 2 games of the week, to see who comes out on top after week 1. Thank you guys, and see you all later.